Hello, everyone. It was a very good start to the week overall for the stock market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average basically hit a new intraday all-time high. And I tell you what, as long as the indexers are doing that, there's no reason to fight it. So with the Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting a new intraday all-time high, that should be proof enough that the market on the short term probably wants to go higher. S&P 500, as you can see, also close to hitting a new high along with the New York Stock Exchange. So even though we still have below average volume, volume did pick up today on the big board indexes. So it is possible that we may not even pull back to the 50-day moving average here before we continue to trend higher. That being said, we did get one successful test of one moving average. The Russell 2000 has bounced very nicely off the S&P 500, off the 50-day moving average, which is a nice bounce, but it's still early. There's still significant overhead resistance as it's pulled back off those recent highs in a very sharp, dramatic fashion. So we will see how this index plays out over the next few days. But indications based on today are slightly positive. The NASDAQ also up 0.56% today. Volume was higher than the day before again, but once again, we're below average volume. So to me, verdict's still out on everything. Short term, very neutral. Intermediate, sub-intermediate, longer term, bullish. So just keep all of that in mind as we look for new positions here. One of the biggest issues I'm having also, we're trying to believe in this rally right now, is that my stock picker is broken. We have 3 sells today. GLD gave us a long signal here, and if we would have gotten a fill around the 128 area, I would have been stoked. Instead, we got a fill around the 129.15. Still looked like overall it was good, but this morning gold just got crushed, so we have to cut our losses there. So instead of losing what would be about a 1.66% position, we're going to be losing about 2.5% on our position. And then CBD failed. Not totally surprising. There wasn't really a whole lot of momentum in this group, but I got to admit, this was a very strong volume bop in price surge. The weakness the day before with it losing that bop was a hint that today might have happened. Still, overall, the technical condition of this stock was fine, so there's no reason to partial any of it out. Today, though, straight up failure, even though it's on the 50-day moving average, and I said that that would be my final cut loss level. I am not happy with the way that it did rebound intraday, and overall, I don't like the bops going the wrong way, so I will get out, and maybe it will rebase again and we can re-enter, but more than likely, since this failed, I'm going to go ahead and just forget about it. And then AAOI, it slightly gapped up in the morning on strong volume and then followed through with more gains, hitting all the way up to $24 at one point intraday, $24.10, before reversing, giving back those gains and then turning into a down session on heavier volume than the day before. So even though it still has max green bop, thus keeping its catalyst, that reversal is no good for me. So I'm going to get rid of half of the position just because, man, that thing should have moved immediately. And that goes, recently we got rid of Facebook, and Facebook's come all the way back. So we've had some bad luck in the trading lately. So with our new long position tonight, ILMN is basing out, by the way, but one other one that shook us out just like Facebook. So our new long position tonight is Tor. This is Tuniu Corporation, Chinese travel company. You can see on the opening day it closed higher than where it opened. Very rare to see in IPOs. Excellent. Then you can see it broke out, and the last time it broke out, it followed through immediately. Hopefully that happens now, but there's a lot of good volume conditions, higher volume on the up sessions, lower volume on the down sessions, except for this day. So the fact that we closed above the open of that day, that's bullish to me, considering that the volumes pulled back each session as we led to today's breakout. So even though it's up 8%, this is a 5% position based on the way that the Chinese stock market's acting. You can look at FXI and then look at this little Chinese global infrastructure fund. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? So whenever you combine that with FXI and YINN, it makes sense that Chinese stocks are going to be doing well, especially with just happening KNDI. So Tor is going to be only a 2.5% position for me for a few reasons. My stock picker is broken on the short term. There is a lot of risk in this position with my stock picker being broken. And what was the other one? That's basically it, right? Yeah, my stock picker is broken, so it's not going to be a 5%. It's going to be a 2.5%. I'm still waiting for an amazing setup. An amazing setup to me would be if KNDI can consolidate this move today sideways, grow BOP to max green BOP, and then break out on above average volume, I'd be watching intraday and setting buy stops up. But that brings me to the point. KNDI, man, this thing was beautiful. This is one of the bad, big problems of living on Maui. I have a life. I have a girlfriend. I have things I like to do outside the stock market. I'm not obsessed with the stock market. This isn't all I do. I do many other things in life. But sadly, one of the problems of living on Maui is that this damn market opens at 3:30 in the morning. So unless I set my alarm, you obviously aren't going to naturally wake up in the morning. So we got a pocket pivot point on 611 on KNDI, and earnings were far enough away that you could have entered a position here. You could have been long at 1320 and it would have worked immediately. You would have gotten another pocket pivot point signal on the 27th, and it trended higher from there. Now you have increasing green BOP showing up as it bases sideways, and boom, in the morning, an amazing, outstanding earnings report comes out. Volume is trading very heavily in the pre-market session, and we're gapping above the 1558 and 1558 and 1538 level to open at 1610. There's the buy. It's a buyable gap up, amazing earnings, big volume turnover, and an extremely tight, beautiful consolidation pattern that the buyable gap up is coming out of. Sadly, guess who was sleeping? Me. If anybody else was watching it and knows what I'm looking for buyable gap ups, volume, earnings winners, beautiful chart patterns, you got long this stock. So congratulations if you are long. If you didn't get long, well, now what we have here is what we'll see here on this is a cup pattern. We now have a cup pattern in this base. So if this thing can consolidate sideways for a little bit, 5 to 10 days minimum, 5 days minimum, 10 days preferred, 14 days would be excellent. And then break out on heavier volume, I definitely want to get long KNDI. But I'm looking for positions like that. And China looks good. I mean, we also have CSUN producing a pocket pivot point signal off the lows. You can see the recent accumulation in that one. So if you want to go early in something like this, go for it. But it appears China is where it's at, so I will continue to watch these stocks. Also, Brazil looks like it's ready to move. We already tried to do that back in late April, early May, and it didn't work. But now it looks like it's ready to go again. So China, our new long tour, 2.5% for me, 5% for you if you really like this company. We have very large surf right now in Maui. This is our first real summer swell that's coming in the right direction. And also, a lot of our chat room members are taking vacation this week. My number 2 in command who runs the chat room is on vacation. So more than likely, I'm going to take the next 2 days off to surf and enjoy Maui without too much pressure on the website. So if I'm not around the chat room, my apologies. And there more than likely will not be a video on Tuesday and Wednesday. Aloha.